anchor of the ensemble in so many ways.
You and I have a very close personal and musical relationship. Like, we've seen your scores splattered all over our kitchen, like, after a night of no sleep. I don't remember if it was the rehearsal or the sound check of your recital, but I believe that was the first time I, number one, even met you, and number two, played with the band. And I was like, man, I don't know half these cats that are in here, and I didn't totally know what to expect, but I was down to make music. There are many more powerful experiences besides like the breadth and depth of your music, but then like having that same connection and desire to be a part of that with everybody else, which makes it like as meaningful as it can be.
How do you approach playing in this band?
One of the things I really love about being in this band and playing this music is like there's the gamut of everything that's cool about being a jazz musician. I don't feel like I need to and must like have the same experience with the music every time we play it.
That's a thing that sometimes can be very liberating and sometimes can be very terrifying. You know when, you have the liberty to go off the rails and when you can, exercise that influence. On volume 2, do you have a favorite track?
Like the 9 Inch Nails tune, like Burn for me, I was like, it's nostalgic. So like, I love that. The Eric Whitacre, that might be my favorite thing. And I don't even play on it. I would always want to stick around in rehearsal to listen to that.
It's so gratifying to hear great musicians do what great musicians do. You get 8 extraordinary brass musicians. You just let them feel each other as a section.
I feel like I more so have moments. I love being behind a soloist, especially in those transitional moments, like anytime Andy is just let go. Because for me, an album is a snapshot of the music in its progression within live performance in the band.
Because of some choice being made that moment that we're hearing on the record, that has never happened before, it's never going to happen again.
And the idea that the music is alive. The fact that it is an organic music, like moves and never, in my opinion, should try to be the same thing.
That's what I want it to feel like, is we're making a record of an event. And if you come see another event, you might have a similar experience, but you'll never have the same experience. We're billing this as a protest record.
I think the significance to me is deciding what for you is right and finding the place where you're able to have that conviction and to be able to stand that ground. Sometimes that's a hard thing to come to be able to say, here's who I am, this is what I think, and I'm not afraid of that. You curate the music in a way that allows your conviction to come through, even down to like who the musicians in the band are. You're writing for individuals. And I think part of that curates into the idea of this being a deliberate and personal stance through music.
Are there things that you would want to ask?
So how do you balance the harmony that you hear within like the specific timbre of each musician that you're writing for?
When I'm writing in a way that is uniquely me, I think what I'm doing is I am reverse engineering texture. And so like for me, the process of composing and the process of orchestrating are not different. They're exactly the same process. And so everything, including the way individual musicians approach specific lines, factors into that. I'm wondering if there's anything that you want to point out about the way you approach this music.
I feel like one of my roles is to be a good listener. I have the closest, most symbiotic relationship with Will. Our primary role is to make the band sound good. Where do we listen within the band? It doesn't take a serious degree of knowing how to listen to this music. I think everyone can feel the music, but there's so much intricacy. The first time we recorded, after we did a take, I looked at Will as like, I didn't know Sam had a solo.
I will be honest, there are times where we record something and I didn't realize that person had a solo. Give us something that we can look you up.
Andy Gutauskas is coming out with his second full-length album called Look Out. The music is really great. It's beautiful work, sounds great, the band's really great. I was really happy to be a part of that.
the amalgamation of ideas. Even in a genre where we pride ourselves on being able to do that, he does it like no one else. I miss you, and love to the family. Go Cubs.
Go Cubs.
Cheers.